I was really careful not to pull any like sad faces while you were gone because I didn't know if you were going to crop it into some.
Well, it's livening up here. They like that. A bit of needle out on court. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mr. Neaves, the tennis mentor, welcome to the Touch Tennis HQ in our makeshift podcast studio, or is it Vodcast now? It's my new word.
I love it. Thanks for having me. I've been here a few times. It's a bit slightly different setup to what we've seen before.
Every time. When is anything ever the same when you turn up here?
Different. I do miss the touch tennis court that we had here because, I gave you a punishing last time, didn't I?
What happened in the last point?
Yeah, you might have won the last point.
But is that not all that matters? You left here a loser, right? Every time you've come here, and don't think that you're going to leave here without losing at something. We've got the cards there.
Yeah.
And take them for a little spin later on.
Archery?
Archery, absolutely. Touch archery. We've got that. What else have we got? We've got the mini touch carts that are about this big. I don't know if you've seen them. These carts are unbelievable. So they're about this big. And you've got to sit on them and propel yourself. So
Plenty of things. There must be one thing you can beat me at.
There's only going to be one thing that matters. No one's going to hear about the other things, are they? But anyway, I'm really glad you're here. I've been watching the last 3.5 years of your growth on YouTube, and it's such a painful journey. People don't realize it. So I started the Touch Tennis YouTube channel about 10, 11 years ago, and we're on 6,600 subscribers. Granted, I don't really put much effort into it, but when I have put effort in, it's been really, really hard work. So I've done shorts lately, and I've been pumping out the shorts. You've been doing this non-stop for 3.5 years. How do you find the energy, the time, and the motivation? Genuinely,
I love doing it, and I wouldn't still be doing it if it was for any other reason. To be honest, I started it in the pandemic, in the lockdown. Started making videos for the club members to stay active.
I remember the first ones were in your garden.
Yeah. And Sophie hates it actually because my most watched video of all time is me doing a 5-minute warm up in the garden. And Sophie says the garden doesn't look very nice. She hates that people watch it. And still today, I think it gets like 400 videos a day.
Are you serious?
Is like more than any of the videos that I've taken so much care of making.
Yeah.
This one was the easiest to make in my back garden on my iPhone. And it's a bit frustrating that the ones today don't do anywhere near as well.
Well, I noticed YouTube have got this new feature. It makes me laugh. You can click on someone's oldest video now. So you can see how bad they were. Yeah. So you can click on their oldest videos. So I've been doing that with, MKBHD, with Gerald Undone, with Mr. Who's the Boss, some of my favorite creators. Henny the Business, big shout out to him. Thank you for all the music that you've supplied for the Touch Tennis videos. And I watched their oldest videos. And you're like, oh.
I'll be honest, I was unaware of this feature, so I'm going to be deleting some videos.
Yeah, I don't think you need to scroll. Now, it could be that it's only on, I could be wrong. This could just be that I saw it on my own channel, but I just went to other people's channels, and I'm sure I've seen like 2 or 3 of Gerald and Dunn's, really early ones, MKBHD. He's a kid. He's like 12 years old when he's doing his first one, not 12, but he looks like a kid, it's like a baby version of him doing it.
It may be because you've watched every single one of his videos, and that's the only one left. It's popped up on
it's showed up on my feed. I tell you what, there's something really wrong with my subscriptions feed. I don't know if you're experiencing this as well. On my subs page, if I click on who I'm subscribed to, I'll show you this here. It's on YouTube.
You sure you want to make this public?
Yeah, I don't mind people having a look at this. If I go to my subs page, a lot of the videos that are here, I look down like 10 videos, and the one I want to watch, the creators I want to see, I don't see. And there's people like Dunner did it, there's Chris Brockhurst, love watching their videos. They don't show up in that subscription feed anymore. So if I go to the For You page, so to speak, on YouTube, then they come up and it says released a day ago, and I'm like, but yesterday I went through all the videos and there was nothing there from them. I don't know what it is with the algorithm on phones. It might be better on computers. But anyway, going back to your first video, and then what was it that made you decide I'm going to make another one after that?
So I actually had the channel set to private when I first did it, and sent the links out to the club members through the newsletter. And one of the members said, why don't you just open it up to everybody to see? So I did. And like one of the videos got 5 views. And I was like, oh, wow, 5 views. And like 5 different people have seen my video. And I thought, okay, right, let's see if I can get 10 on the next one.
Yeah.
But no, I genuinely loved the process of learning how to edit and how to film. So it's actually the creative side, which is the reason why, I carried on with it from the start. And then I started getting messages from people saying, oh, I really enjoyed that last video. And knowing that I can help people outside of my own community at the tennis club really motivated me to do more and more and more. And yeah, today they get thousands of views. You know, some videos flop naturally, but yeah, it's just really rewarding to hear people's stories about, you know, they've watched my videos with their kids and they've gone out into their garden and they've, you know, had a go at some of the drills. So yeah.
What I like about your channel, quite apart from the fact that it's original content, there's a lot of people that blow up and all they do is they repost other people's stuff. It's like, whatever, anyone can do that. I mean, I literally could do it tomorrow. I could just go and, you know, crawl the net, get 50 videos and just set them to post one a day. I have no interest in that. You don't have a loyal following. They're only there to watch other people. All of your content is original. Occasionally you'll credit someone if you're using something of theirs, but it's always your own idea, your own shot. How do you keep coming up with ideas for videos, given that you produce at least one long form piece of content a week?
Coaching. Actually physically being on court with people coaching. That's where I got my ideas from. So if I'm on court with a ladies group or an individual with a junior and I see them struggling with something, I'll work on it with them. And when I get home, I'll write a note and make a video on it. And I never personalize it and say I was working with this player
loser who's got a really bad backhand.
Exactly.
Because otherwise everyone would know I'm being coached by you, wouldn't they? Yeah.
But yeah, I think I could never stop. Lots of people ask if I would do YouTube full time. And my answer is always no. My passion is being on court with people.
Right.
And also that's where I get my ideas from, my content ideas. So, and I think maybe that's why it comes across slightly more authentic because it is real. It's what I've done on court with my groups and my individuals. So yeah.
It's another thing, like I noticed that you don't, for example, boost your posts. You don't pay to advertise. You just run those posts and you create them and it creates content and you've got a loyal following as a result. I would never give the time of day to negative comments. So most of the time now I have fun with them. They're like, you know, the last guy said something like, just when I thought nothing could be worse than pickleball, along comes touch tennis. And I wrote, we can make it worse if you want. You know, and I just have fun with trolls in that sense. Or someone said the other day, you know, for people who can't play tennis, I'm like, do you want me to send you the sign-up form? And he didn't even get it. I mean, but what I do actually like looking at is some of the positive comments. Okay, so there you go. This is a lovely one from Commons Giant. They've just said, so happy you get to have these experiences. I used to represent Netflix in LA. Because of this, the landlords were, oh, go away, adverts. Because of this, the landlords had amazing events and the gift bags were legend. I used to give everything to my wife because she is my rock and I couldn't do it without her. You were so right. Representing Netflix was lucrative, but something about a gift bag makes you just a little giddy. They're right, aren't they?
We all love a goodie.
Yeah, a goodie bag is just unbelievable. I don't care where you go. Like, you know, when they had those, you're way too young to remember these double dip sherbet bags.
No, I remember.
Okay, the stick had come out, you had the twizzle stick and it was like a goodie bag. You opened it up, it was like, okay, I've got different flavors. But a real goodie bag, you got one of those, a lollipop, a refresher, and there's nothing comes close to that. And then we've got Born Jason. Thanks for bringing us along with this amazing experience. Great to know the lighter side of the players. Here is one thing that you can do to improve both your accuracy and your depth in your ground strokes. Let's see if I can criticize this, because obviously we're going to be positive. Hitting the ball too short, losing control of their shots. These have been brilliant. I really struggle with, again, I said I'm trying to avoid negativity. People who just do videos and they just do that. And then they show you how it's meant to be done. They don't do any voiceover and they don't have anyone with them. Or, I don't know, some people don't have the money to have a, what is that, ball machine? There you go.
Machine, yeah.
Haven't got one of those, for example. But there are other areas I feel like they can put in effort. These aren't easy to produce. You've got to set your camera up. You've got to stand there. How much time do you spend on these types of shorts a week?
That's a good question. So these shorts are a minute long. I will batch plan them. So I'll make a bullet point list of all of the ideas from previous lessons that I've done on court.
Yeah.
Let's say I've got a list of 10.
Yeah.
And I'll probably try to film 3 or 4 in a session. So it's during my lunch breaks at work. I'll have maybe an hour and a half lunch. So I'll quickly eat some food, get on court, set the camera up, and I'll be filming for about an hour to produce 4 short videos.
Right.
I'll go home and I'll edit those the next morning. And I'll probably spend a good 3 hours editing those videos. So yeah, short form content, although it's 1 minute, it probably takes an hour each one.
Yeah. And then the planning before that as well, or just an hour in total?
I would say probably, because I try to just add ideas to my notes as I go.
Yeah.
I don't spend a hell of a lot of time planning. The long form YouTube videos, they do take time. You know? So I'll sit down and I'll spend a good hour actually writing down a bullet point list of what I want to cover in the video.
Yeah.
I try not to write a script because I like to come across in a way that I would talk naturally. I think sometimes if I wrote a script, I've tried it before, it just seems very robotic.
Yeah, it is difficult. I think the thing with the script is, and I mean, I did scripted selling when I was much, much younger. And I found that I learned it off by heart within about 10 times of doing it. But I would always have it in front of me just in case. You have to know it off by heart so that it sounds natural.
Yeah.
And I sometimes think the effort in doing that is less than the effort in editing the video afterwards. Like when we did the GOAT debate video, nothing was scripted. We just filmed it and we just took lots of takes and cut. And I managed to cheat and get a really dirty take out of that.
Very good. I mean,
are we going to clear up actually what was happening there for those who don't know? My insulin pump had gone off and I changed my pump while he was doing that. So he heard me click that nail going into my arm. So he's going like this, ow. And I thought, I'll use that cut over a point that he lost and a commentator saying, well, I'll let you watch it.
He can mix it with the best, but he's also been on the wrong end of a golden set, which is, well, something that not many people will let him forget, I'm sure.
No, that's where you don't win a point in the entire set, so...
It's a bit of a kick in the teeth, isn't it?
A little bit.
I can't believe you did that to me, to be honest. Like, I was looking at you, feeling sorry for you.
Yeah,
you looked vulnerable.
Some compassion, empathy.
And you did me dirty.
Yeah, those are normal weak human emotions. That's why I've got 20 slams, because I don't feel those sorts of emotions. I just see opportunity, forehand up the line, backhand down the line, ace, drop volley. I see opportunities.
In your dreams.
Yeah. We saw what happened when we played touch last time.
Yeah.
We got the video. We got proof. It's on your YouTube channel. How did that do, by the way? Let's have a look at that.
It was one of my favourite videos to film, to be honest.
It was my favourite to edit. And I enjoyed the fact that we both did all the lighting together, the background. Do you remember when we were stapling the black background into the wall? And it kept on falling. We were trying to stick it back up with something. Yeah, the GOAT debate settled. 2,300 views. It's a 5.5-minute video. The effort that went into that. So how do you cope with that? Because I know some of your videos take a hell of a lot of effort. I've seen them multi-shot when you're at the Moratoglu Academy. You're taking all these different shots and they absolutely bomb. They don't perform. How do you feel when you're sitting there watching that view counter? I mean, honestly.
So honestly, I don't mind as much as you think. So a few of my videos recently have flopped. And they were videos that I was creating a tennis lesson for. And they're the ones that I'm most passionate about because they're the ones that started my channel. Whether it be a lesson on the forehand, the backhand, the serve, whatever it might be. They take the longest because it takes a lot of planning, a lot of filming and editing. And they don't do as well as other videos like, let's say, a review of a pair of shoes or a racket.
Right.
Or a vlog, which I've started doing more recently just because I've had some cool opportunities.
Yeah.
But my passion is really in the coaching content and they don't seem to do as well. And I'm not sure why. I don't know whether it's the algorithm.
Because your shorts do well. And I think maybe it's to do with, I mean, I could be dreaming, but it could be to do with people just want tutorials quickly now. They just don't have the patience.
Yeah.
And the algorithm just rewards people who go looking for that kind of content and gives them more of it and more of it. And it rewards you for producing it. But I think long form content, I mean, I noticed certainly on the Touch Tennis channel, our shorts some of them get 15,000 views. Some of them, they always get 1,000 at least. Sometimes it's 15, sometimes it's 25, 3,000 probably be the average. It's 2 is the average shorts view for us. We're a smaller channel and we don't really make any effort with it. But our long form content, like I made a long form video about better guards, but I thought it was a decent video, just got no views at all. And thumbnail, I think has something to do with it. I think if you don't already have that subscriber base, and I think at least the last 1,500 of my subscribers are from shorts. They don't care about long form.
Yeah.
And the older ones probably aren't seeing it anymore because, as I said earlier on, I just don't think videos are coming up there. They're just not showing in people's feeds.
I also think that the coaching content I do, let's say it's 3 tips on how to increase the effectiveness of your kick serve.
And you're going to love the third one, so hang around for it.
Exactly. Let's say I did a video like that content is there forever.
Yeah.
Unlike short form content on Instagram and other social media channels, which is there for a few weeks and it's gone. And I think that although you look at the first week of views and you look at it as being super low, that's searchable content that people will be searching for in years to come. So those sorts of videos, I'm not worried if they don't do so well. What I really look for is people in the comments actually seeing that it's made a difference to them. Yeah. You know, I'm not worried if it doesn't reach 100,000 views.
Because again, it's not your job, is it? You're just enjoying making the content. That's all that matters. Where do you see this channel and this content creation side of your life? Because there's 3 parts to Ash Neaves, isn't there? There's the tennis mentor, which is social media and stuff like that. There's the coach, and then there's the human being. Like, I know you love photography. You go out with your wife and you spend time together and you go on long walks with your dog and things like that. You contemplate the beatings you've taken from me. But there's the 3 sides of your life, and you've got to put equal amounts of effort into all of them if you want any of them to have any meaning and some purpose. And I'm not talking about like success. People always go on about success, and it's like, no, do you not realize how much of your life is luck? You were born here at this time. You had bad parents, which made you more driven. Like, people just don't get how much is luck, and it makes me sick. However, I was like, but it was hard work. No, it wasn't, mate. It really wasn't. Compared to someone working on the trains in India selling roti and, it's just not hard work. Your life, my life, is really blessed and easy. So how do you find that side of your life, the tennis mentor and coaching? Where do you see that in the years ahead, like 3 to 5 years from now?
That's a good question, because I'm not very good at planning very far ahead. I kind of
hit big and hope.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I when opportunities come up, I either say yes or I say no. And I think if I planned too far ahead and said, this is where I want to be in 5 years, it may take me away from other opportunities that might arise. So what I do want, the most important thing, is finding better balance, which I don't have at the moment. You know, I'm spending too much time on court. I'm spending too much time creating content, and I'm not spending enough time with my wife, which is the most important thing. Yeah. So in all honesty, I need to minimize the other 2 slightly. Yeah. And I just need to figure out a way of doing it, because it's a busy time of year around Wimbledon, being on court a lot and having lots of different social media trips as well. I saw that. Halle, the IMG visits, the house there, Roland Garros, all of that. Unbelievable. And those things, I've said no to a lot of things as well. Yeah. And those things are things that I've not even dreamed of. Like, I never thought I'd be able to go to Monte Carlo. I never thought I'd meet Novak Djokovic. I never thought I'd, be around these players. So they are incredible opportunities that if I said to myself 5 years ago that I wanted to be a head coach of the biggest program in the country, I probably wouldn't have taken that route. If I had a clear plan, I would have stuck to that plan. Yeah. And so I think sometimes having too much of a structure around what you want to do in the future can limit what the potentials are.
I remember looking 2 years into touch tennis at ways I could play in my garden. And I didn't want to build a tennis court there. I just thought, no one's ever going to play me at tennis. And I was having so much fun playing this touch tennis and dominating my kids and winning slams. And I remember looking at platform tennis out in America. And what they do is they play with strung rackets as well, but they use like orange type balls, which is slightly harder because the floor is abrasive. And I sometimes think if I'd actually taken that up and built one of those courts, touch tennis would never have happened. And nobody wrote back from the associations. I wrote them saying, like, can I have the rights to the UK? Because I thought it was the same ball as us. And then one guy eventually wrote back like 6 months later saying, no, it's a completely different ball. I love what you're doing. Don't stop. Again, if I'd had a plan of any description, I agree with you. Life just happens. I think I was talking to Sarah, oddly enough. We were driving night before last, and I said that I mentioned to Ash, I'd rather you didn't come on a Friday. And because, I'm working, but I'd much rather you spent time with your wife, because I know that's your one day of the week. I'd rather you came here in the evening than came here on the Friday, because I now know how important that is. And I didn't when I was your age. And I've learned it now. Sometimes, it takes a while to learn it. But the only thing I think of any value is your relationships with other human beings. It really is. Like everything else is a bonus or something to cut out of your life. I do think you should think about getting an editor. I really do. That's my advice. Get someone, and they're never going to do a job as good as you, but that's just the way it is. And maybe they'll do a better job. But until you try, you won't know. And I really think pay somebody 300 quid and say, edit this video for me.
Yeah.
And it's just giving yourself, because look, with the best will in the world, let's say your daily rate is £20 an hour. If your daily rate was £20 an hour and you're on call 8 hours, I'm not really very good at maths. 8 2s are 160 quid, right? It's the same as doing 2 days of work, but if he does a 2-day edit, you've saved yourself 40 quid or whatever it is. It's worth doing it once. And if it works, wow, the difference it would make to your life. And also, you would then be making a difference to someone else's life, because you're paying someone and you're giving somebody money that they didn't otherwise have, that they can now take their Sophie out, or their Mark, or their Stephen, or whatever it may be, out and do stuff and just improve perhaps their quality of living. So I think you should really consider that. If I've got tuppence worth to chuck into your life.
No, I appreciate your advice. The channel wouldn't be where it is today without you. You've advised me on plenty of things, whether it be, we've had lots of chats about tech and geeky stuff, haven't we?
Yeah.
But, just general advice about the channel and life. So it's massively appreciated.
My absolute pleasure. Right. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions before I let you go.
Okay.
Quick fire. Want your answer straight away. First thing comes to mind. Best touch tennis player you have ever played against? You can be honest.
Simon Roberts.
But if his name started with an R?
Rob Crouch.
I can't go any further.
How are you watching, Rob?
Oh, wow. So why did you say Roberts?
I think I played him 3 or 4 times, and I think I took the first 2 times, I took a set off him.
Yeah.
And you think you've got a chance.
Yeah.
But the guy's still got his shoes undone and like tracksuit bottoms on.
Yeah.
He's not even in his first gear.
Yeah.
And then, he just switches it on and crushes your soul.
He lost 2 games winning the tournament in Dubai in 5 matches. He absolutely obliterated everybody.
But I think as well, he doesn't look like he has any big weapons.
Yeah.
His weapons are he just does not miss a ball. He doesn't give up. He's actually really quick around the court.
Yeah.
And got really good hands. So, yeah, he's got a lot to his game. And when you look at him playing, you wouldn't necessarily think that.
Who would you most like to play against if your house was on the line? Touch tennis.
You.
Really? You know how badly you get hooked, you lose your house.
Okay.
I mean, really, seriously, okay, let's think about active players out there. You had to play somebody in the top 10, and they've got to be someone you've lost to.
I think it would be Haas, because I think he's a nice guy, and if he knew that my house was on the line, he'd let me take one.
Nah, he'd take your house off you, 100%. I'd pay him whatever it takes to take your house off you.
Okay. Is there anything on the line for them?
No.
My brother, Maka.
You'd play him. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's probably a better player than me. No, he's a better player than me at touch tennis. I think he's got more.
Maka. He's got the most insane weapons, and I think it's just he runs out of patience up here. He gets bored of doing the same thing.
Yeah. I think just mentally, I think if there was something on the line for him as well, I'd really back myself.
Yeah.
I don't know. If my house was on the line, I'd get pretty tight though.
Yeah.
I'd probably choke.
Favorite forehand ever in touch tennis that you've seen or
on video?
Or seen? Yeah.
Gonzalez.
Yeah, that's true. Favorite backhand ever at touch tennis?
Ooh. My brother against Roberts.
That day was on fire.
Yeah.
I still think Golo's got the best one-hander on tour.
Yeah.
Because no matter what you do, if he's on, he can hit winners from below knee height. And there's next to no one who can do that. But Maka can generate pace from nowhere. Yeah. He can do that off a dead ball. And you're like, okay, that's big.
Talking of Golo. So I played him at the National Tennis Centre, and it was, if I remember, it was an epic 3-set battle. And I kept coming to the net, and he kept passing me cross every single time.
Yeah.
I think or line, one or the other.
Yeah.
And on match point, I went in and I called it that he was going to bluff me, and he went the other way, and I got it and won the match from it.
Oh, God.
I don't know if I remember that exactly correctly, but if you can find the footage, that was an epic. Like I had the whole crowd was watching. It was a really good match.
NTC?
NTC.
And you were on outdoor court, right?
I had hair down to here.
Yeah.
With a bandana on.
I remember. I've got bits of footage of it. You know what happened? Kills me. To this day, I never used to double check the shot. So I put it up on the thing like that. Looked okay. Got down. Camera moved. I didn't look back, and it was all from the baseline onwards.
Yeah.
I've got that
It was such a good moment. It was a funny moment because he fell to the floor and just
he was gone. Yeah. I do remember that. Anyway, mate, it's been such a pleasure having you here at the Touch Tennis HQ. We'll hopefully. Now we're going to get onto some karting, see what you're made of. I'm going to absolutely dominate you at that.
I'm not going to lie, the odds are in your favour for this one.
Good having you here, mate. Let's get karting.
Thanks, buddy.